The Jeanines albums are like no one else's. Their new release, Don't Wait for a Sign, features 13 songs in just 20 minutes. The result is a power pop rush to the senses, not unlike hearing the Ramones for the first time. Here are Alicia and Jed, who decided it was better to be in a band together than to be dating each other, rather than the other way around. Here we go. So, album 2, how you guys have a very specific, distinctive format of your song. I mean, there's 13 songs on this record. Nothing tips the 2-minute mark, which is incredible. And I'm serious, because it changes your listening experience as a listener. Yeah. You're like, oh my God, that song's over. There's another one already.
Very intentional.
So what brought you to this point?
Of making short songs?
Yeah. Because, Bob Dylan never got there.
No, but I love Bob Dylan, though. It doesn't bother me when he does it, usually. Maybe the second half of Blonde on Blonde's not so much, but...
I never knew that I could write songs until like 6 or 7 years ago. And then when I've written songs, they've always been short. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's it's partially intentional, just because like it seems like too much work or like sort of extraneous to write like why have more than 2 or 3 verses, or like, why have instrumental parts, like for the most part. It sort of just seems like extraneous, but like right. I don't think that about like other bands or other songs for like necessarily. Like obviously I don't think like 3 or 4 minutes is like too long for a song, but
no, but I feel like it is. Yeah, no, I mean, like I do. Yeah. It's definitely, even as short of the songs as when she'd bring stuff as they already were, like I'd still be like wanting to cut as much as possible, even off that, which is what I do with like on my own stuff also. But yeah, they were already somewhat short.
Yeah, I'd say Jed definitely like leaned into the existing shortness and wasn't trying to like add additional things when he was making different parts for stuff. So
did you feel the urge to express yourself with a 4-minute guitar solo or anything like that?
No, absolutely not. Nobody needs to hear that.
Well, I think the songs are sufficiently expressive, and
yep, sure.
I think if you're left like wanting more, that's not a bad thing. You
cool.
can just listen. You can just listen again.
Right.
Yeah, like I'm a big fan of Pink Flag specifically as far as short songs, but also like the sort of middle 4-track Guided by Voices era, when the songs would be 30 seconds to a minute and a half at the most, a little almost too short, almost to the point where it's a little awkward. That's where I kind of personally would like everything to be, where it's like a little, you're almost like, what wasn't that?
Well, and we also love Tony Molina, and his songs are really short. So
and I may be wrong, but I pick up a little Flying Nun kind of vibe going through some of the songs.
Definitely, yeah.
Being here in New Zealand, we like to think that everything's
we love Flying Nun bands. So if that happens, we're always pleased.
Right. I noticed especially on Any Day Now, which I think you have a video for as well. So maybe what can you tell me about Any Day Now? How did it come together?
There are words you say in the night with the covers up too tight. There are words you say in the night. La 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 la.
Alicia had chords and a vocal melody and some lyrics and then I did the other stuff. like how most of the things happen.
Yeah, we're not very like, most of the songs don't have like a really good story, unfortunately.
Yeah,
that's all right. And what about this?
She says that, but I feel like I'm always sort of parsing things out. That maybe I think that happens a lot when people write lyrics and write songs. Is they either don't know what they're doing themselves, or they realize it later, or somebody else is like, oh, that's totally about this, and they're like, oh, huh. I think that happens a lot.
All right. And what about the video itself? Who was responsible for that?
Like, what's that? My older brother found us a place to shoot, and I was like, let's just do some stuff. And then we lost half the footage, and I lost 40 pounds. So kind of wish we had waited a little bit on that video, but
Right.
I just had to put that in there, didn't I?
Something to look forward to. You
You
can
don't
do
need
another
to
one.
include that.
Um,
Yeah, Judd's brother shot the video near where his family lives, and then I think it was Christina from the band Artsick, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Who did the edit on it. And yeah, we didn't really,
Again, there wasn't much of a.
yeah, we probably should have thought more about it because there was no yeah, there was no storyline or arc there exactly.
Yeah.
The only thing I had was like when we found, I think there's like, I'm wearing like some sort of like basic giant plastic lamp or something. And I
Sure.
was like, oh, I
know
should
what that
probably wear
was.
this and play the piano in a raincoat while I do that. Other than that,
I wouldn't call that premeditated though. Those were
no, it was like, yeah,
things that we found there.
A spontaneous thing, huh?
yes.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
knew we had to make a video.
Well, videos are kind of inherently silly, so
So I'm curious, what got you two together creatively? What drew you to each other?
Well, we were
Um,
dating.
Okay, there's one thing.
And
I don't want
Judd
to
was-
assume those kind of things, because get
No,
yourself
no,
in
yeah.
trouble.
no, yeah, we were a
Oh.
couple, and then go ahead, Alicia. Sorry.
Well, I had always been musical, but didn't think I could write songs or anything. And Judd really encouraged me to pick the guitar back up and try. And I did. And he was obviously already very in the music scene in Brooklyn, and is an amazing multi-instrumentalist and does recording all by himself, and has lots of experience in bands. And he thought the songs I started writing were good. And at
Mhm.
first he didn't want to be in the band because he thought like the dating and being in the band was not a good idea. But it turns out we are not dating any longer, but we are still in the band. So I think the band was a good idea.
Yeah,
There you go.
definitely. Yeah.
And yeah, so that's how it started.
Cool. And why did you want to be a songwriter after not being a songwriter?
Well, singing was always like the thing I was most passionate about in terms of music. And very few bands want singers who don't write the songs, or at least
true.
that's how it seemed to me, especially because I didn't really play guitar at that point. And I don't know, I don't know. That's like why did I want to write songs? I don't know. Why does anybody want to write songs,
Okay.
I just
All right.
remember you saying like, how do you write songs? And I was like, just do it. And then we kept on having that exchange or something like that. And I was like, do it. And she started doing it, and she was good right away. And she got better and better.
There you go.
So I was like, oh yeah, no, she's got, I kind of knew that she was going to be good.
Yep.
So that also helped me like encourage her. And also because,
Cool.
my
It's
girlfriend-
hard 'cause I grew up playing classical violin and piano and being in choir, and all of that is like reading music and then
Yep.
just
Yeah,
performing
it's very
it.
different.
And so to like break out of that and like to believe somehow that you can create like something from nothing, like something new from like literally nothing, is like sort of a hard thing to like wrap your mind around and like do, like make happen. So I think that was certainly part of it. Like I was like, there's no notes here, like I'm not reading anything, like it doesn't exist, so I don't understand.
I think that was the kind of the trick of it. Like to me, like, I've been making up songs, which I still remember since I was like 7. I wound up recording a bunch like when I was 19 that I came up with 7. So like this is like one of the only things that's ever been natural to me. So someone like being like, how do you do it? I'm like, you just do it.
Right.
Was like, and then she was like, oh, you just do it. And this sounds really pedantic now, but like it was like she just had to. I think this is a lot of people stop themselves from doing creative things because they think there's some sort of key that they have to find. And
There's some kind of mysterious, kind of unknown
yeah,
secret.
yeah.
way of doing it.
Well, I still can't just do it. Like literally, like this past week or two, I tried like 2 different times to like write a song and I couldn't. And I was like, oh, guess I can't write songs anymore. But from past experience,
you say that every 6 months.
from past experience, that's probably not true. And sometime in the next month, I'll probably write a song again that I like. But I can't always like predict when or like, yeah, and that's frustrating. I think Jed really can like force songs to come out like fully formed. And a lot of people I don't think can.
Okay. All right. Now you guys are on
Everyone's different.
Slumberland Records, which has a legacy of its own. So did they
Yes.
find you or did you find them?
I knew Mike through, I just was friends with a lot of bands that like Pains of Being Pure at Heart and Crystal Stilts and Cause Commotion, a bunch of bands I was just friends with or played music with. So I knew Mike already through that. And initially I didn't even know, I was a huge Alicia fan, which was one of the bands he put out, one of the earlier bands he put out.
so was
And I didn't even make the Slumberland connection until years later. But
Right.
yes, what's that? Oh, well, so Mike was just like, hey, I really like this song. I think it was just one of the songs we had finished. And I was like, hey, do you want to put out the record? And he was like, yeah.
Yeah, it was really fortuitous
And then
that
happened, yeah.
Jed already knew Mike. And like, obviously I had like really idolized Slumberland like from before that. I also love the Eiler set and like, I really like Black Tambourine and like some of the other stuff that's been out on Slumberland. They're obviously like legendary. So it was very, sort of like a dream come true. So.
And
Also,
Yeah, same, really.
if you hear a cat screaming, that's my cat Heidi. She's just crying for no reason.
I can hear it.
Heidi.
Very cool. So does being on Slumberland affect how you make your music now, or do you just kind of naturally go in that direction and it fits in with everything?
No, it hasn't changed anything.
All right.
Well, it's certainly it's nice. Like it's definitely makes the whole thing more joyful that we're both on a label that we already loved, like genuinely loved the stuff that he had put out.
Yep.
Yeah.
But as far as the actual process of how we do it, we just record songs and then send them to him. And that's pretty much it. Like
All
that
right.
hasn't changed that at all. And he's very helpful, with like wherever he can be as far as shows or tour stuff or like logistical things. So yeah, he's great to work with.
So do you do shows? You put together a live thing? How does that work?
We have a rotating cast of bassists.
Yeah.
Yep, bassist is good.
I usually play drums live. Occasionally I play bass live when it's just for whatever reason it's gonna be the two of us. But
Right.
I usually play drums live. Because all the backing stuff is me on the record. So we kind of had to figure out which one I should play live as the preference.
Yep.
And drums are usually harder to find somebody in general. So went with that. But yeah, we do shows with a slightly rotating cast of bass players. And we were just in Europe and we'll be in California in June. So we're still doing shows, not as often as we were when she was here in New York, but still we try to do it like more often than not at all.
Right.
Well, we had a pretty good streak going like last summer into the fall, but then Omicron happened and
Right.
Oh yeah.
and then it's been hard to sort of get the ball rolling again, but hopefully things will pick up. And yeah, it's a little hard being out of the loop, like in terms of I can reach out to bookers, but then I'm like, who should play with? It's like, it's a bit.
Right.
Well, yeah, it kind of tabula rasa a lot of stuff for a lot of people, really. In New York, it definitely is noticeable. Like a lot of the people who were running or booking venues or running them or whatever, like left or a venue closed, and it's been pretty weird times here. But
same here actually. So yeah.
Oh really?
Everybody's
Yeah,
struggling.
I was just talking to someone about this. I was just talking to another friend, and I was told him we're going to do a Zoom thing with someone in New Zealand, and he was like, "Well, it seems like they're really like COVID didn't stop them at all." And I'm like, "No,
that was the case for last year, but then when Omicron hit, we went in lockdown again, and something different happened, and so everybody, we're supposedly okay to do stuff now, but everybody's kind of afraid to, it feels like. So the streets are strangely empty.
Oh, so you're experiencing kind of what New York did like 2 years ago. Basically.
Probably, yeah. We're just
Yeah, or some
slow.
version of that. How long have you been in New Zealand?
Since 94, so a while.
94, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I was in an email possibly.
Now I'm curious about your live show though, because I mean, with the songs structured the way they are, you could whip through like 20 songs in a half an hour, kind of like an old Ramones gig. Is that kind of what it feels like for you?
Like, yeah, it is. It is. The only thing that makes it a little slower is that I make a lot of jokes. If it weren't for that, it would be like a 1974 Ramones set where it's like over in like 12 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And,
also, one of us usually has to be like, "What song are we playing next? Who's there?" I don't. But we've been playing 14 songs for our current set, and that takes less than 30 minutes, or about with the talking and the drinking water and stuff. Then that's about 30 minutes, which is like, it's tiring.
It still almost feels a little long, doesn't it?
It's tiring. It feels long to play, but people probably don't find it long. I don't know.
It sounds like fun.
I forget that not everybody, I usually want to watch a band for 20 minutes at the most. And then I'm like, okay. So I apply that to when I'm up there and I'm like, okay, I've been on stage for 10 minutes doing this. Like, I wouldn't want to still be watching me.
Right. Well,
but not everyone's like that.
My biggest gripe is that, especially with like solo artists, people playing a guitar or whatever, because they have the ability to tune their guitars on stage. Half the show is them stopping to tune after each song, which drives me insane.
I never stopped to tune, but you can tell.
Yeah, we definitely have like a Velvet Underground approach to tuning guitars live.
I'm just afraid if I stop and tune, then it'll get worse, and then
it's very boring.
It's very boring.
And like if I keep playing, it'll be over more quickly, and then
there does seem to be an inverse relationship between the amount of people on stage sometimes and how long the set is, though.
Right.
Like I've noticed this, like a lot of what people, not everyone, but like a lot of the time, like the longest sets I've watched is like someone just by themselves on stage with a guitar, and I'm like, okay,
you're like, are you still playing?
I'm way too self-conscious to think that anybody would want to watch me do that for for 40 minutes. Like I can't get my head around that idea, but
fair enough. All right.
That's just me.
So do you ever play outside of the States?
Yeah, we just played in France and we played in Spain at a pop fest in Spain in Madrid.
Cool.
That was a month ago, something like that. Yeah. And hopefully we'll be doing that again.
Yeah, now that things are opening up a bit.
Yes. I'm supposed to go.
It's also a little bit hard because I have a limited amount of time off of work, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
right,
I work remote, like copywriting, so I don't have the same kind of schedule. But basically, if I take off work, then I just don't get paid. So either way, for either of it's just like
Well, there's big money in the music business, I hear, so that shouldn't be a problem.
Oh, yeah. No problems at all.
Big money. You just count up those streams and hits and you're on your way.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I can live on 30 cents a day, which is not even, it's probably much less than that.
It's definitely, that's like, what are you talking about? 30 cents a day.
Yeah, that's big money. Yep. Yeah. All righty. Well, thank you guys. Thanks for spending time talking to me. I've got to go run and buy some records. It's record store day here, so I'm going to do that.
Oh, sweet.
Yep.
Yeah. Record store day tomorrow for us because you're already in. Marty is in tomorrow.
Yep, I'm in.
Marty's in Tomorrowland. Wait, Marty, can you confirm something? Is New Zealand like paradise on earth, basically? Because that's
pretty much,
I get.
Except the only problem is they're not the greatest drivers.
Hey, I'm from Massachusetts, so Boston drivers aren't known for their skill behind the wheel.
But yes, I never. It's the smartest thing I ever did.
No, yeah, I'm jealous.
So come on down, check it out.
Yeah, we'd love to.
All right, very
Thanks,
good.
Marty.
Have a great day.
Great talking to you. Bye.
We'll see you. Bye-bye.